What is up, winning team? Now, I don't know what the title is of this video is even going to be yet, because we're just going to flow in the spirit as I always do, right? And today has been an insane kind of day because, this is now like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I've just been out in the cold, in the winter, in the dark, in the silence and peace that is the night. When the Homo sapien is asleep, nature is very much awake, and the Lord is very loud. So is the devil doing all his things, but the Lord is very loud. And so I am here because a lot has changed in a number of hours. I have been thinking a lot about a lot of things, and I'll be honest, guys, I don't know where this video is going to go, and it may be split into multiple videos because I feel like I need to talk about Noah. I need to talk about One Piece. I need to talk about the fact that the Lord has shut every door in my life except from one in particular in 24 hours. So all of a sudden I have a completely free week, which obviously means the Lord is doing something. And I think it's because of the prayers I've been saying. So I may split this. I'm just trying to really just flow in the spirit and not overthink, okay? So where do I even begin? Let's start with Noah. You guys will know that I've been talking a lot about Noah in the Bible. My fingers are still nice and frozen, and I'm loving my life right now. If you guys could see properly and the lighting wasn't always weird in my videos, you can really tell, even me, black as I am, even my nose goes a little bit red, but you probably can't tell right now. Anyway, so let's talk about Noah. Because one thing I always think about Noah in particular is imagine how crazy Noah must have looked building this ark. Because we know that Noah lived, I think, a total of like 950 years. He lived almost 1,000 years. Almost 1,000 years. And I believe he was building that ark for more than 100 years, but I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Anyway, I want to just say, can we imagine... This is going to be multiple videos, but at least we found a starting point. Can you imagine what it was like for Noah to... Imagine how crazy he must have looked. I've been thinking a lot, right, about how... I've thought a lot over the years, like, who is the Bible character that I relate to the most? And there's a lot of them that I relate to. But who is the Bible character I truly relate to the most? And I found myself at Noah in the end. And hence why I kind of feel like I've been kind of obsessed, whether I realized that was why or not before. But the Lord works in mysterious ways, okay? And I was just thinking about the parallels of my experience and his, because for me, I feel like Noah in the sense of I make all these videos and I talk about all these things and I live this very strange life that doesn't make sense to anybody, okay? And that's something I'm just now learning how to just be okay with, okay? I don't function like a normal person to any degree. I don't sleep more than 4 hours, as hard as I try, a day. I literally eat one normal sized meal, if not small sized meal, a day. And I don't get hungry throughout the day, really. Do you know, actually making videos makes me the hungriest of all. When I film a lot of videos in one day, that's actually when I end up like pausing in the middle to actually eat something. But anyway, I just be living this different life, right? Well, who goes out in the middle of the night? But you know what's funny? When I'm out in the way that I do, that is when I feel at peace with the Lord. And I feel at peace, and I finally it's like taking... I feel like how people who take antidepressants... Actually, I disagree with that because there's a lot of side effects, negative side effects. But you get the gist. I was just out there. And when the Lord decided to shut all these doors earlier today, / yesterday, well, Sunday and Monday, it's now technically Tuesday. Well, when when the Lord started to shut all these doors, I started to think, oh my gosh, what is happening? Because I had kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what, God, I'm fed up with this world. I'm fed up of sounding the alarm bells. I'm fed up with, the adult population and people in general, and not personal to me. It's not about what I'm saying, it's about the truth itself. I'm fed up of people not receiving the truth and therefore being unprepared for the times to come. That is my bane of my existence. That is the true bane of my existence, right? And that's what made me think about Noah. Imagine you're Noah, right? And you're building this ark, and everyone's watching you cutting down all this wood. Because when I think about Bible stories, I really visualize and get myself into what it was like. Imagine waking up every day, right? And your family, so maybe his wife, his kids, his community, his friends, the people around him, the townspeople, he's building this giant ark. Imagine how strange he must have seemed to everybody in the moment, right? From the day that he starts this project. And I asked God, I've been asking God questions over the last couple of weeks, and even months. God, where did Noah find the time? Because Noah was a man who had a family that I'm sure he had to look after. So where does he have the time? Because one of the things I've been saying to the Lord is, it frustrates me how I don't have the time to just dive 100 times headfirst into everything that I talk about on YouTube. That's one of my stresses, because I know I would be so much further, even though I'm already so far ahead, I would be so much further even had I not been distracted and be distracted by the ways of the workings of this world, i.e. having to work, to pay bills, to live, to eat, to this, to that, to the other. And it frustrates me a lot because time is passing. I don't have the time to do what I need to do. And so I prayed to the Lord, and I've been praying, God, if you could just give me the time, if you could give me the time. Now, unfortunately, he didn't meet the other requirements as of yet. So we'll see. Part of the reason I'm making these videos is a faith move to say, look, I'm telling you guys in real time what it is, how it is, and what's going to happen. So you're going to be here. Like I say to you guys, I want you guys to be here for the journey, right? I tried to make this video since 9 o'clock yesterday, right? And I recorded about 7 other videos, or I don't know, 6 other videos. And I just kept feeling like this isn't the video. And I was crying in every single one of those videos throughout the whole day because of this whole door shutting malarkey. Welp. So now I'm in good spirits because why? I've been out with the Lord alone and just having an honest conversation about everything and just kind of accepting that, right, he has closed every door, at least bar one, for this next coming week. Hence why I'm not even bothered about what time I'm going to sleep, because I'm not going to sleep anyway. That's why I don't really care about when I go to bed, because we all know I'm going to sleep 4 hours anyway. And if I don't sleep, it's not going to affect my work ethic, my work ability whatsoever, because I've never really slept in my whole life. Since I was a kid, since I was maybe the earliest memory I can think of, maybe 10, 11. I'm trying to think what house I was in that house that I'm remembering distinctively. Probably 12, right? Probably 11, 12. I've had extreme nightmares as they were and whatever, and I struggle to sleep, right? And so part of that is also because I feel that my mothering instincts were awakened too soon, and therefore I can hear everything because I'm conscious of what's happening everywhere all the time, because I'm worried about literally the whole entire world all the time. Anyway, so I'm here just where was I going with this point? I got distracted and started to think about something else. Where was I going? Where was she going? Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I remember. So I was going to say that. Lo and behold, the Lord has cleared my week, bar one particular thing. One thing that I've been knowing I needed to do, but I haven't really known what to do about it for the last like 5 months. And it's just quite funny that as soon as he just shut all the drawers, as soon as I was backed into a corner, all of a sudden I now have ideas. And it just made me laugh. Now I'm scared and I'm terrified because I don't want to have to do these things. I've told you guys that at the minute, if I'm going to be so real and honest, you know, I feel very disinterested, unmotivated, and all other words you could use about everything. I have no desire to do anything really. Like, I'm trying to think, is there something I really desire to do? Like, really have a break. Actually, I desire to have a break. So that's what I'm praying to the Lord for. Because even if I took a break, and this is the thing, if I took a break and I had the break, the one that I'm asking the Lord for, I would still be making videos, because this is, for me, isn't like any kind of stress. This is actually very much what I need. And you guys are like this YouTube channel is like my arc, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This YouTube channel is like my arc, right? Where I'm building something, where I'm trying to give people like a library. That's what I want my channel to be like. I make my videos in such a way that if there one day somebody wakes up to the truth and they've got questions about lots of different things, they can come onto my channel and it can be like a library. It's like, okay, so you believe in God, so what about the Quran? What about Scientology? What about this? What about that? You got that here on the winning team. Oh, so you're saying that the media and whatever is run by whoever, who's exactly running it, and who owns what and who does what, and why do you suggest that, and where is your evidence? I've got media playlists that can explain to you all about the media, why I think the things I do. I've got playlists about the government. I've got playlists about the entertainment industry. I've talked about the science industries, the tech industries, you name it. I've talked about it all. I've done books of the Bible. I've done other books. We're currently doing another book on the fourth dimension. Check out that series, guys, because it's about to get extra juicy. And everything's tying together right now. Every single thing I've been doing is all tying together into this exact moment where I'm now seeing the point of all of this. And so I'm laughing right now. I promise you, I was miserable all day, and I went out of necessity, as in like, God, I'm on my last straw. And I feel so built up in faith again. And this is the thing I have about being on this earth, and just why I relate to Noah. When I'm alone with the Lord, I feel so built up in faith, and I feel so focused on the tasks at hand. Like, this is what I need to do. This is whatever. And it's like, even though I know that whatever the world has to say, I just need to ignore. I can do that, right? So it doesn't even bother me. It's when I have to start integrating myself into things and people start talking that it starts to just drain me, because I'm like, let me cook. And that's how I feel like Noah must have felt like. Because I don't exactly know. The truth is, guys, I don't exactly know exactly what it is that is going to happen, nor exactly what it is that I'm going to be doing in the short or long term. That's called faith, ladies and gentlemen. So it's one of those things where I get how the world operates, and that the world is operating from the standpoint of, even Christians, unfortunately, everybody needs to completely understand exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, what their plan is for the next 6 months, next 10 years, next 30 years, next 50 years. Albeit, a lot of my videos have been addressing preparation for things in the world to come. However, that's not how things work with God. That's not. Because God always leaves room for faith, because faith is your place where you choose to show that you are trusting in God and not trusting in yourself, and you are proving that your faith and God is your ultimate. He is your supreme ruler He is the supreme ruler of your life. So if God was to tell me exactly everything that was going to happen day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, I can have the comfortability that I know what's happening, right? Tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I know what's happening. I know. Tree of life. It's like, well, what does that mean? Life is just lifing, right? There's all sorts of things that can be happening in life. And so, that was just a random bit fluffed in by the camera. I don't know. That's the terrifying part. That's the terrifying part. And the thing that freaks me out about all of this is what could basically happen is when you do take steps of faith. This is why I made that video that I uploaded, and I was like, this is what putting your faith in God feels like. And I used the Spider-Verse music about what the song What's Up Danger, because I love it, because it's like, I like high chances that I might look like like all this, and it's all talking about how just throwing yourself into danger, like, and saying what's up danger, right? Don't be a stranger. Don't say that. Please, danger, be a stranger. But you get the gist, right? Because that's how it feels. That's exactly how I feel. It's like, I'm risking everything. It makes sense to no one. I have put everything on the line. Everything that I even would want, if I was to be completely honest, because I'm being a bit of a liar by keep continually saying that there's nothing that I want, because it's not true. I just don't really want to risk it all for the things that I really want. And the thing that hit me, oh my gosh. We're going to come to that in the next video, okay? Because I'm going to separate these. But the thing that I want to get across in this is just... because I basically realized that I'm essentially... everything I asked God for exactly 2 years ago from now, little did I realize that there's certain specific events in my life, and even things I've said I don't want to do, that at least one of them, God told me exactly one detail as to when that in particular thing is going to happen. And all I will say is that that date is fast approaching. And I'm freaking out, right? And this is part of the reason I've been freaking out, because in the back of my mind, I haven't mentioned that, but I knew that, right? But anyways, nevertheless. So I really feel like I'm having a Noah moment. I feel like I look crazy, and I've had to just come to terms with it. It's okay. It's okay. People think I'm crazy. People don't really get completely why I do things the way that I do them. That's okay, because guess who was ready when the flood came? And I've been thinking a lot about what it must have actually been like to be Noah inside the ark while you watch the whole world flooding and being destroyed and cleansed. We're using that word because it's a word being used in One Piece, which is another thing we're going to come to. And so here we are once again. I've been building up for something that I don't know what I'm building for. And it would appear that something's going to happen. I just feel it. And I've been feeling it because I've been making these prayers to the Lord, like, God, whenever you want to do whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't even tell me you're going to do it, because I know I don't really want to, I knew that I didn't want any part. I knew that deep down I wanted to, always submit myself to the Lord, even though I don't want to, right? Because I know He knows better. And I know that, a lot of my feelings are my feelings and my flesh and my humanly experiences and my understanding based on what I can see, i.e. the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? My own understanding. And the Bible says, trust in the Lord your God with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your path. So that's why I just always acknowledge the Lord, and to say, God, I don't want to do this. Like last year. Last year, I was like, I remember when I was about to start having friends, because now I have friends, right? I remember when that was happening, and I was like, God, please no. And I could feel it coming. The 4 days before it happened, because it's insane how I made all these friends literally overnight, right? Literally overnight. Anyway, I made all these friends, and it was insane because I could feel the days as it was coming down. I was feeling more and more depressed, more and more low. And I was crying to God. I was like, please, God, don't make me have to do this. Please, God, don't make me have to do this. Please, 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 please. And then I just kind of fell into the situation. And it's funny because me and the friends that I made, we all have this thing in common about issues of female friendships. And it just so happened. And we have a lot of similar themes of our lives, our backgrounds, and again, a lot of them women of God. I got some women of God of my age group in my life. And also some who are not, because I'm not somebody who only makes friends with. I am just, for me, here's my way of dealing with things. Jesus is always standing like this, right, in front of me. Whether it's people, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's a decision, my only way of deciding if I'm involved in something or not is quite simply I wait to see if Jesus takes a step out of the way. If he takes a step out of the way, then that means the Lord is saying, go forth on this, with this opportunity or with this relationship. If Jesus does not move, I do not move. And this is why it's funny when people try to convince me of things. And I'm like, I can't even hear you because I'm standing behind Christ, who is standing in front of me, who has not moved. So, anyway, I'm very much living in my Noah experience. And it is tough and scary. But the only thing that could be more scary is not listening to the Lord. And so he did. He was like, God, please, if you need to do it, just do what you need to do and just guide me to where I see. Every January I make this prayer. Every January for the last couple, for the last, I don't know how many years now, at least since 2022. God, this is your year. Show me this month where you want me to be and show me what you want me to do. You step in and you go forth and you make it happen. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to give it all to you. Yeah, he answers. Let me tell you, God answers prayers. So let's talk about that in the next one. But yeah, don't you think Noah must have looked crazy to everybody? And yet Noah was the most prepared, because that's how I feel. I feel the most prepared for the times. I feel the most prepared. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody's panicking about what's happening. Oh my gosh, the world is crazy. Everything's going down. I'm like, ooh, why are we surprised? Like, why are we surprised? What were we expecting? Were your eyes that closed? That's how I feel. I'm like, were people's eyes really that closed as to... Anyway, we're going to leave that there. But I'm living in my Noah experience. That's why I feel peace. That's why I can go out. This is why I love to go out when it's quiet and dark and cold and silent. It's like walking onto a movie set, but then nobody else is there, right? In a way. That's kind of how I feel, because it's all a big play, right? Because I go out there and despite everything that's happening in the world, it's like that feeling is like the peace and silence of the peace of God in the midst of whatever's happening, because with God, there's no anxiety, there's no panic, there's no worry, because he has everything in control. Even my life, even though I have nothing left to give, I'm exhausted, I've been crying out for a break, right? For years now, there's peace in the storm. There's peace. So this is why I like to record videos at late at night. I prefer doing it during the day because it's like natural lighting, and I'm not so mindful of the fact that I live in a very small country, so I don't want to bother people with too much activity happening late at night, because the neighbours and things like that. I miss living in London, where I lived on top of TV studios and it was noisy 24/7, and I loved it. And I used to blast music at 3 a.m, and it was not a problem. Boy, do I miss those days, because everything was loud because it was the TV studios and everything. And you're in London, like everything's alive, everybody's awake. And my whole building was just another story in like the flat, one of my flats I used to live in. Anywho, we're going to leave that there, and we're going to talk separately about, I can't remember what I said I was going to talk about. Oh, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Because, oh dear, I knew the days would come, and I made a conscious decision in this year that I'm not going to move a finger. And I made it at the end of last year. I'm not going to move a finger until the Lord does something. He has to make the first move. So I decided, I was like, well, I said to the Lord, I was like, you a man, right? Well, you better make the first move. And that's how I really feel. So there we go, guys. That's my story about how I'm feeling right now and how Noah must look crazy. But then guess who wasn't looking? Guess who, when he wasn't feeling crazy? Guess when he must have been feeling relieved? On that freaking ark. While he's watching everybody else who's probably the naysayers and also being washed away in the flood. So I'm glad to let you guys know that you are on the ark. I hope. For those of you here. And that gave me a sense of peace that, like, I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and everything and anyone telling me that I'm not and that's looking at me any kind of way, you just don't realize why I've been building an ark. You don't understand why I've been here making these 2,000 videos in the way that I've been doing it, why I've been living my life the way that I do, why I've been making controversial decisions and things and looking unstable and all over the place. Because for some reason, God, I'm just trying to be obedient, even when I don't want to be. That's why I say, God, you just do it. I don't want to. You just do it. And now he's backed me into a corner. Now I'm going to be forced. Now I'm forced. But we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other things in another video. But yeah, I'm very much living in the Noah experience. Yeah. And on that note, if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And see you in the next one.